What's
You
up,
guys ready?
everybody? Welcome to episode 6 of Downtown Sports. This week, we're talking about our AFC top 5 players at each position. We have a couple people today. Kyle Brown in the bottom right, recurring
Whoa.
person. Bottom left, Alex Lemieux, new guy, happy to have him. And top left, Matthew McClintock, recurring person. He's awesome, happy to have him. We'll start with our quarterback position. Cal, who are your top 5 quarterbacks?
All right, starting with number 1, I'm going to go with the MVP himself, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, what can I say about this guy? All-around player, arm talent amazing, big contract signing. I think he's going to be the man. Second off, I'm going to go Lamar Jackson on the Ravens. Mobile quarterback, he could do it all. I mean, he's got to work on his passing a bit, but I think he's going to have a really good season. Coming in number 3, I'm at Deshaun Watson. He's a playmaker. He could another dual-threat quarterback, back and forth. He can do whatever. With the loss to DeAndre Hopkins, I think it'll be interesting. They did add Brandon Cooks, so we'll see what happens. Number 4, Josh Allen, a sleeper pick. Everyone hates on Josh Allen. I think he's going to have a good season with the Bills. And then number 5, I got Phillip Rivers. Now listen here. Bad on the Chargers. I think he's going to do good in the Colts. T.Y., maybe they'll have a connection, a little spark happening. We'll see.
All right. What about you, Alex?
All right, so I got the same number 1, I think pretty obvious, Patrick Mahomes, the big man himself. Number 2, Deshaun Watson, the Texans. Like you said, he's a good playmaker. He's definitely a highlight reel player. And then number 3, kind of controversial, I got Big Ben. I think Big Ben's going to make a big comeback this year after his injury last year. I know Matthew's got him on his list too. Maybe not at number 3, but then I got Lamar Jackson, number 4. I know you probably want him higher, but I think we can't put him that high. He had one big year. We can't really expect him to stay that high when he's only done it once. Number 5, Ryan Tannehill. Great comeback player, just like Big Ben's going to be. And then my honorable mention, Josh Allen, like you said, really, really underrated player.
All right. Thank you, Alex. What about you, Matthew?
All right, so I got the same top as both these guys, $500 million contract, Patrick Mahomes, number 1. Number 2, just like Kyle, I have Lamar Jackson. Number 3, as well as just like Kyle, is Deshaun Watson. And then my number 4 is Big Ben. Alex, I have on my list. He's going to have a massive comeback year after his injury. Has Juju, many other options to throw at on that offense. And then my number 5 is Josh Allen. Big cannon of an arm, but as long as he gets the accuracy down and he's got Stephon Diggs to help him with that, I think he's going to be a really good player. And then my honorable mention is Cam Newton for the Pats.
All right. Thank you, Matthew. For my top 3, I have the same as Kyle and Matt. I have Patrick Mahomes for the Chiefs at number 1. The Super Bowl MVP, guy's a stud, best player in the league in my opinion. Number 2, Lamar Jackson, the Baltimore Ravens. He won the regular season MVP last year. He's gotten a lot better. His arm's gotten stronger. He's number 1 on the top 100 list this year for the players voting. Number 3, Deshaun Watson. Signing of Laremy Tunsil kind of locked up that O-line for a little bit. Hopefully he won't get sacked as much. He's getting more comfortable with the players, although DeAndre Hopkins did get lost, just like Cal said. But I think he's going to do really great this year. Ryan Tannehill is my number 4. Had a good comeback season last year. I think he's going to do great again this year. And lastly, I have Josh Allen at my number 5. Great player, dual threat athlete. And with Stephon Diggs, like Matthew said, I think he's going to open up the field a little bit. All right, now we'll talk about if you guys have any things to say.
I'm just going to bring this up. First of all, it's crazy. None of us got Tom Brady on our list. It's just kind of a big change this year.
Tom Brady's in the NFC, so.
Yeah, but would you have him in your
He
top
would have
5?
been in the AFC list though last year, is what he's saying.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if I would have, to be honest. Probably
Yeah,
not.
exactly.
The fact that you guys have Big Ben in your
Bro,
top
you're
5,
talking about Phillip Rivers.
it's
in your top
unbelievable.
5.
Yeah,
Okay,
you guys are
Big
both
Ben-
crazy.
Big Ben was good with Antonio and Le'Veon. Now he's working with Juju, and I don't even know who the running back is right now. So I honestly think Big Ben's got the biggest fall off. He's going to be like, I don't even know. He'll be like Baker Mayfield's second season. That's how bad I think he's going to do.
I think he's old and slow. I think he's not good either. It's even more
Tom
ridiculous
Brady's
that you had
old
him
and
above
slow.
Lamar Jackson. That's insane.
I just think you guys are kind of – I'm not going to say overrated. He's a great player. Like I said, I'm not saying anything about his skills. He's just a little overrated right now. He's had one breakout season. Who knows if he's
He's
going
the
to continue?
MVP of the regular season.
I know. I'm not saying he's a terrible player. I'm just predicting he's not going to have another breakout. You can't. It's not so easy to do that back to back.
I don't think Big Ben's gonna do better than him.
We'll see.
Kyle thinks
with-
Philip Rivers is going to do better than him.
Yeah, Philip Rivers is terrible. I think
Kyle is saying I'm a biased Chargers fan. He's not. I'm a Chargers fan. He's not in my top 5.
Yeah, Philip Rivers doesn't have a good arm. I don't think he's good. I think he's a terrible.
He was on the
quarterback.
Chargers. Chargers aren't winners. They just don't click together. They're not a good team. Now
He
he's
had
in the
more.
Colts. Okay?
He had more. He
The
had
Colts-
more.
The Colts were what, 9-7 last year? I think Philip Rivers is gonna make him even better.
Right, Chargers, he couldn't do anything with the Chargers of Keenan Allen, and T.Y. Hilton is not as good as Keenan Allen.
No.
And they got Michael Pittman, which may be better than Williams over there. We don't know yet. But if he couldn't do that with Allen and the Chargers, he's not going to do that with the Colts.
And it's just 1 year. One more year. He's getting older.
We'll see.
All right, moving on to our running backs. Alex, do you want to start us off with your top 5?
Yeah, sure. With my number 1, I think everyone's going to say this guy too. Derrick Henry on the Titans. Absolute beast. Showed us up he showed us what he got in the playoffs. He's a beast. Number 2, not biased, Austin Eckler. I think he's one of the most underrated running backs in the league. Based on his size, he has some incredible strength. Number 3, I got Nick Chubb. Not much to say about him. He's just an average player. But number 4, I like Leonard Fournette on the Jaguars. I know the Jaguars don't get a lot of attention, but Fournette made a lot of what he didn't have a lot in Jacksonville, but he made what he could have, like what he had. You know what I mean? And then finally finishing it off at number 5, Josh Jacobs on the Las Vegas Raiders. So, yeah, I think Josh Jacobs gonna have a better year than last year for sure.
All right, thank you. What about you, Matthew?
All right, my number 1, just like Alex, is Derrick Henry. Absolute tank. Run into the ground. He'll win you every game. Not every game, but a lot. Number 2, Nick Chubb. I think his production may not be as good because of Kareem Hunt's full season with the Browns, but his talent is still there, and he's still a really good back. Number 3, I got Joe Mixon. With Joe Burrow back there, added receiving help with A.J. Green coming back, able to stretch the field, Mixon should be able to have a very good year. My number 4 is Josh Jacobs, moving to Vegas with the Raiders. I think I'll have an incredible sophomore season. And then my number 5 is going to be Austin Eckler. I think with Melvin Gordon gone, for sure, I think he'll have a great season for the Chargers. And my honorable mention, now that Damian Williams opted out, I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire will have a great season as the only back there and had no other competition with LaShawn McCoy leaving free agency and Williams opting out. I think that would be a great option.
All right, thank you. I have the same top 3 as you, Matthew, with Derrick Henry for the Titans. Like Alex said, he really showed up in the playoffs, showed us what he really got this year. Previous years, it wasn't that great, but he was a top running back this year. Number 2, I have Nick Chubb, the Cleveland Browns running back. A lot of talent, a lot of production, especially with Kareem Hunt missing in the first couple weeks last year. He showed his true talent, ran the ball really well. At number 3, I have Joe Mixon. He's never really had that great of an O-line, and even without a great O-line, he's been able to produce, put up good numbers. I think with Joe Burrow there now and, Jonah Williams, the left tackle out of Alabama who they drafted, I think he's going to be able to open up the field a little bit, produce more. And number 4, I have Le'Veon Bell, the New York Jets running back. I think this team is kind of going downhill, but I think he still is able to produce. He didn't do too well last year, but I think he'll have a good bounce back here this year. Number 5, I have a tie. I have Austin Eckler and Josh Jacobs. Austin Eckler last year was given a chance with Melvin Gordon opting out, and he really showed us what he got. He was able to produce really well, get a lot of catches in the backfield. And a number also tied was Josh Jacobs. Guy's a great athlete. After a great rookie campaign, I think he's going to do great. What about you, Kyle?
Starting at number 1, I'm going to take Derrick Henry. He's a powerhouse. You can run him to the ground, and there's not much you can say about him. He's just an overall beast of a running back. Number 2, I'm going to take Nick Chubb of the Browns, also another beast, number 1 rated in Pro Football Focus. I think he's having another good year. it'll be interesting to see what happens with him. Number 3, I have Josh Jacobs. Incredible first year. I just think he's only bound for improvement. Number 4, I got Le'Veon Bell. Now, what to say about this guy? I mean, the Jets added an O-lineman, so maybe he'll get a couple more carries here and there. I think he can carry the Jets again. And number 5, I got Austin Eckler, Chargers running back. He could do it all, power back, speed back, and receiving back. So we'll see how his year ends up.
Now we'll talk about the running backs. Does anybody have anything to say?
Yeah, Eckler at 2. You want to go over why you have that?
I mean, like you said, he's not just a running back. He can't just run. He can catch. He actually is basically prioritized catching. I think for his size, he's not a very big guy like Derrick Henry is, but he uses his size.
But over Josh Jacobs and Nick Chubb, those are 2 all-around running backs who both could do the same thing. So I don't get how you have Eckler
I got
over.
Nick Chubb right under him right there, and I got Josh Jacobs at number 5. They're all in contention.
He's given the opportunity this year, so I think he can win, but we'll see. I don't know about number 2.
Yeah, number 2's a little too high.
Yeah, and you guys both got Bell in your top 5s. I don't know about
I think he's due for a breakout year. Again,
He's established dominance in the past.
yeah.
He's established it, but they lost Robbie Anderson to free agency. And you really gonna tell me Denzel Mims is the same caliber as him? There's no reason for defenses to cover the pass. They can load the box against him. He won't.
They also
Won't be able to do
added
anything.
a first-round pick and a lineman, though. Was it
I mean-
Becton?
Yeah, Mekhi
Yeah,
Becton.
Yeah.
I may not have Le'Veon Bell in my top 5, but I respect him. Like I said, he's kind of like Leonard Fournette. He's on a terrible team, but he's making what he's got. He's dealing with what he has. He's not complaining.
Yep. All right, moving on to our wide receivers. Matthew, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, I'll go first. My number 1 is Keenan Allen. I think he is better than Mike Evans. Number 2, I got Tyreek Hill, speed threat, really good receiver for the past couple of years. Number 3, I got OBJ, making a bounce back year in Cleveland. I think Baker will level up his play slightly, but enough for OBJ to have a good year. Number 4 was a tough choice. I put Juju. I think with Big Ben coming back, he's going to have a phenomenal season as well, just like where he was supposed to have last season. And my number 5 got extremely underrated Devontae Parker, especially with Tua coming into that offense. Devontae Parker's in for a great season. And my honorable mentions were T.Y. Hilton and Stephon Diggs.
All right, thank you. My number 1 receiver, I have Tyreek Hill. People say he's only good because of his quarterback, but I think that's not true. He's fastest receiver in the league, great hands, can jump really high, great route running. He's always a threat to have on the offense when defense is playing. Number 2, I have Keenan Allen. Even with Phillip Rivers as his quarterback, he still was able to produce really well. I think he's a great wide receiver. Even we'll see who Tyrod or Justin Herbert. I think they'll still be able to do great. And number 3, I have Juju. With Big Ben coming back, I think he's going to do great. Still going to be the wide receiver 1 there with Deontay Johnson there, and with them drafting Chase Claypool. I think he still is going to be a great wide receiver and produce well this year. Number 4, I have Julian Edelman for the Patriots. With Tom Brady leaving, he may not be the stud that he was, go-to guy, but I think he'll still be the wide receiver 1 for Cam Newton. He's able to produce, great hands. He's a great route runner, and he always comes up clutch too. So I think he'll do great. And lastly, I have Stephon Diggs coming from the Vikings. With Josh Allen, I think he has a stronger arm than Kirk Cousins. I think he's going to be the number 1 wide receiver there in Buffalo. I think he's going to have a great year. What about you, Kyle?
Starting with number 1, I also, like you, have Tyreek Hill. You look at the AFC and you look at all the wide receivers. You can't tell me you want anyone else in a 1-on-1 situation than Tyreek Hill. Number 2, you got Keenan Allen, Chargers threat. He's an all-around wide receiver, good route running, second best in the league in my opinion behind Devontae Adams. Number 3, I got OBJ. He kind of had a fall-off last year, but I think he's going to come back and show his true self like he did in the Giants this year. Number 4, I got Stephon Diggs and the Bills. Just going there, I mean, the Bills don't really have a true wide receiver, so I think Stephon Diggs is going to take over and for the offense with him and Singletary and Josh Allen. Number 5, I got Julian Edelman. I think him and Cam Newton are going to get a threat that no one's going to be expecting. But Julian Edelman, like Tom Brady, is going to have another great season and show himself. And my honorable mentions, I got Devontae Parker and Juju Smith.
All right. What about you, Alex?
To finish this off, like Matthew, I agree. Keenan Allen, number one. I believe that he's, like I said, hasn't had the best quarterback throughout his career, but he's made with what he's got. He's put up incredible numbers. Exactly. Number two, I got Tyreek Hill. Again, he's phenomenal athlete, extremely fast. I just believe that because of Patrick Mahomes, that's why he's been able to put up those kind of numbers. And I think if you put Keenan Allen where Tyreek Hill was, Keenan Allen would be even better. Number three, I got Juju. I believe, just like you, Carson, that the comeback of Big Ben will give another breakout year. Number four, I got Stephon Diggs. I think him in Buffalo is a perfect fit for Josh Allen. They're really going to take off this year. And then finally, number five, I got OBJ. He's been inconsistent recently, but I think he's going to have a stellar year this year. And then honorable mention, I got T.Y. Hilton. Always just been a pretty good player. And he did good with the loss of Andrew Luck last year.
Now we'll talk about the wide receivers. Does anybody have anything to say?
Yeah, personally, there's no way that you could take Keenan Allen over Tyreek Hill. In a one-on-one situation, you cannot tell me that you're taking Keenan Allen over Tyreek Hill.
Yeah,
Not only is
in the
Keenan Allen
NFL,
an
they don't play
incredible
1-on-1. They play 11v11.
Yeah.
All I'm
and
saying is that Tyreek Hill and Keenan Allen, let's say there's a one-on-one situation, which happens a lot in the NFL. I'm taking Tyreek Hill over Keenan Allen by a long shot. I'm just saying that.
was that not you? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you said Keenan Allen is the second best wide receiver in the league behind Devontae Adams.
No, second best route running.
Oh, okay. All right. That's more clear now. But like I was saying before, I believe that Tyreek Hill is who he is because of Patrick Mahomes. He wouldn't be who he – if he stick Tyreek Hill with Phillip Rivers, not going to be nearly as good as Keenan Allen. Stick Keenan
But for
Allen
example, you look
Go
at
ahead.
the Texans. You see the Texans game where over two guys mossing him as a 5'10" wide receiver. He's shown his athleticism. He's shown his speed. He's shown his hands. I don't know what else you can ask of the guy.
I'm not arguing that he's not athletic. I believe he's extremely athletic. I just believe it's Patrick Mahomes that's kind of boosting him.
I think when you game plan against the Chiefs, though, the main guy you're worried about is Tyreek Hill for your defense. When he's on the field, he's a complete threat wherever he is. Run deep, short. He catches the ball right in the first 5 yards, and he's gone for a touchdown. So I think you always got to be aware for that.
Yep. It's a 50-50 argument. We both got one guy number one guy number two.
Yeah, that's true. Also
I wanna
with
bring up-
Juju, he had 3 different quarterbacks last year with Big Ben for like the first 2 games and Mason Rudolph and then Devlin Hodges. No one really connected with him as well as Big Ben, so I think with him coming back, he's going to be a top wide receiver in the AFC.
Yeah. Lastly, I just want to bring up one more guy. I just feel like the Julian Edelman situation is going to be it's going to be very interesting to see this year. Who knows if he's going to be the same guy he was with Tom Brady, knowing that he had that connection with Brady. But I think it's going to be interesting to see if he has that same kind of magic with Cam Newton.
Yeah, I think Cam Newton throws the ball a lot differently than Tom Brady does. I think Edelman succeeded a lot because of his usage and that those small passes Tom Brady threw. I don't think Cam's gonna be throwing that type of pass that often. So I think he'll still have a good season, but not near a top 5 season.
Well, when Cam was healthy for the Panthers, he used to just dump the ball off to McCaffrey a lot. So I could see him throwing it short, maybe even throwing the medium to short routes with Julian Edelman, but we'll see.
Which specialty?
I missed that. What did you say?
Which is his specialty? Julian Edelman, short, medium.
Yeah, I think he's not really a great deep route runner. I think he's great on the slant routes, in routes, out routes. Not really a streak guy.
A tough guy, though. He kind of reminds me of Wes Welker.
Yeah, they're on the same
Yeah.
team. All right, lastly, moving on to the tight ends. I'll start us off. I have Travis Kelce. I think this is a clear number 1 in the AFC. Guy's an absolute tank, catches the ball every single time he gets thrown to him. Next, I have Mark Andrews with Hayden Hurst leaving, and plus with Lamar Jackson getting the stronger arm. I think he's going to be his number 1 target this year on the offense. I think he's going to be a great tight end for the team. I think he's going to do great again this year. And number 3, this is just talent-wise, Austin Hooper. There's a lot going on with Cleveland right now with Baker Mayfield having a bad year, Odell, Jarvis Landry all being there. I think it's going to be tough to get targets, but I think Austin Hooper has the talent to be the number 3 tight end in the AFC. At number 4, I have Darren Waller, the Oakland Raiders or Las Vegas Raiders tight end. Guy's an absolute tank. He catches the ball, runs it deep, has a lot of speed, very versatile player. Lastly, number 5, I have Hunter Henry, the Los Angeles Chargers tight end. He's able to produce when he's healthy, but I think with Phillip Rivers being gone, I think it'll actually help him out, get a new quarterback, be able to fit in and get that chemistry with him and produce well. What about you, Kyle?
Coming at number 1, I also have Travis Kelce. I mean, I think this is a no-brainer. He's an absolute beast. Number 2, I got Darren Waller out of Las Vegas Raiders. I think with the lack of, receiving talent on the Raiders roster, they have Renfro and now Ruggs. I think that Waller's going to have to carry this offense big time. Coming to number 3, I have Mark Andrews. He had a really good season, a lot of touchdowns last year. So I think he has the talent to be number 3. Number 4, I got Austin Hooper. This is an interesting one coming from the Falcons to the Browns. So I think he's going to draw a lot of attention. He's going to get a lot of attention because Odell and Jarvis Landry, they're going to kind of suck up all the corners. So we might have a linebacker who can outrun or something. Number 5, we got Hunter Henry. Injured a bit for last year, but I think he's going to have a big comeback season this year.
All right. What about you, Alex?
Like you guys said again, Travis Kelce at number 1, extremely overpowered. Pound for pound, the best tight end in the league. I think he's better than George Kittle just by a little bit, just based on his consistency. Number 2, got Darren Waller. He's an interesting one. He really had a breakout year last year compared to his 2018 season. It's going to be interesting to see if he can keep that going. Hunter Henry at number 3. I have him above Hooper because when he is on the field, he is nasty. But it's just a matter of, like you said, if he's on the field, if he can stay on the field. And then that brings me to number 4, Austin Hooper. It's going to be interesting to see him, how he does on the Browns, coming from the Falcons where he was great for multiple years there. I think he's going to fit in well there, but it's going to be interesting. And then number 5, I have Mark Andrews. Not much to say about this guy. He's remained consistent over the past couple of years, which is just what you need in a tight end. And he's just going to continue to dominate.
All right. What about you, Matthew?
Number 1, just like you guys, I got Kelce. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Number 2, I put Darren Waller with the Vegas Raiders. I think he'll continue his great season. The Raiders always produce good tight ends, just like Jared Cook the year prior. I think he'll have another great season. Number 3, Mark Andrews, just like you said, Carson. With Hayden Hurst gone, he's going to have a lot more opportunities and still going to succeed as the number 1 receiving option on that team. Number 4, I got Hunter Henry. I mean, if he can stay healthy, he may be better than some of these guys ahead of him. But as of now, he's just number 4 because of that health concern. And then number 5, I got Austin Hooper. I wouldn't have him higher if it wasn't for David Njoku. Obviously, Hooper's better than Njoku, but I wonder how they're going to use him with 12 personnel sets, 2 tight ends on the field. That might take a little bit away from Hooper that he would have had in Atlanta.
All right. Thank you. We'll talk about the tight ends now. Does anybody want to share?
Yeah, a quick thing. I think Njoku did request a trade there because he does want to be a tight end 1. So I don't think that's going to be an effect on the Browns because I think it was a month ago it was reported that Njoku requested a trade. So let's see what happens. He might get moved or something.
Oh, yeah, I think it's moved. Hooper's going to have a great year for sure. But just because they request one doesn't mean they're going to get traded.
Exactly. I mean, could pull a Zeke, maybe sit out until he gets that either trade or, I guess, contract.
Yeah, I don't know what his contract's looking like, but maybe. You never know.
I think we all kind of have the same 5 people on our list, but just kind of different ordered. In the AFC, it's kind of, all these guys are kind of top tier. And I don't think there's kind of a lower tier below, but I think people are going to break out years, maybe break the list. Do you guys have anybody that might?
I think the only guy I think that could break out would be Noah Fant.
I was about to bring that up.
Yeah, they just have so many young options on that team. I just don't know where they're going to go. I don't know if their coach is more of a tight end guy or not a tight end guy. So just
same with Drew Lock.
Oh, yeah.
I agree with that. Another guy that could make the list after the end of the year could be a Mike Gesicki, the Dolphins tight end. He's going to be getting in a great position this year. I think he's going to do great.
Yep. What about? Okay, this is kind of off topic. I know it's kind of separate. Just to kind of finish it off, kind of fade off from the AFC for a little bit. How do you guys think Rob Gronkowski is going to do?
I don't think it's going to do good. I think it's going to be a massive decoy. O.J. Howard's going to have a better season. Easy.
I mean, the Buccaneers have 2 of my top 10 wide receivers in Godwin and Evans. So I honestly think that they're going to draw way more attention than Rob will because he's kind of old now, coming out of retirement. He's not going to get the same respect that he usually did.
Yeah.
So I think I have him as my breakout player in my NFC video. So we'll see.
Okay.
I also think he'll do well. I don't think O.J. Howard will do that well. He couldn't even do that well with the great throwing guy with Jameis Winston. He did throw a lot of interceptions, but he also had the most yards and like most touchdowns in the league. So when he was the number 1 tight end there, and he didn't even do anything for him.
That's true. We'll see. I don't think Gronk has it anymore, though.
But Gronk's the only one with a connection with Tom Brady already.
That's true, though. I do
So,
like that point.
If he has a go-to guy in a tough situation, it's going to be Gronk.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's it for this episode. Appreciate you all for tuning in. There'll be another video next week. Signing off, Carson.
Bolts up.
Kyle.
See you guys.
See you guys.
Like and subscribe.